All right, this is my first time ever recording a session. I don't have a webcam for this computer, so we're just going to go without it. Audio only. You don't need to see my face anyway. Nothing to see here. Now, in future videos, I'll have a webcam. Playing zone poker on Ignition. I'm new to this site. Actually, until just a few months ago, I hadn't played much internet poker since Black Friday. And I'm still not willing to put very much money on these sites either. I don't have the luxury of living in Nevada and playing on a legal site. But I am finding that this is great practice. So I use this as a way of practicing against real competition. Primarily, well, nearly exclusively a live poker player. Yeah. Sorry if I go silent for a while. I'm not really used to talking about my play, but um, it takes a bit of concentration for 4 tables, right? On this, especially since I'm not really used to it. Now, I will say, I've played so many hands over the years that it's very easy to make these quick decisions, or these decisions quickly, rather. So even though interesting, he had the hand check on. Well, let's just put in a tiny bet. He calls and I still win with king high. That's great. Okay, we got jacks here. Playing 2 tables of 25 in it, no limit hold'em, and then 2 tables of 50 no limit hold'em. I think there's profit to be made at these tables. Um, and I suppose if you lived in a low cost area, you might make a decent living off of 50 no limit hold'em. I personally would not try to live off of this. I much prefer to play like $1,000 buy-in live. Trust me, the competition's way softer. Oh, I missed a hand here. Oops. Hopefully I didn't have anything good. Okay, we're gonna do a tiny bet here. We've got the board covered. We have the board smashed, really. Interesting. So he three bet, right? Three bet to $4. It's kind of hard to keep up with, but I will. I'll figure it out. Now we're just gonna put them all in. That is a huge bet. He's saying he has kings or aces. I think I'm too high up on my range to fold. Let's see what he bets this time. Interesting. Um, yeah, I shove. That was an interesting call. Okay, we're gonna hope he was on a straight draw. Apparently he was. Up here with that 4-5 of clubs, if I had not hit a 4 on the river, I probably would have bluffed it. Continued the story that I was trying to tell on the turn. But I hit that 4, so I then had showdown value, and you don't really want to bluff when you have enough showdown value. And I had showdown value against a few hands in his range. Yeah, I'll just give up on that one. It's highly unlikely he has an ace. We're just gonna bet the pot there. Just take it down. Ooh, tiny, tiny. Okay. Just thinking about three betting there, but his stack was so small. It was highly likely he would just go all in. I don't want to go all in with ace three of hearts there. So for anyone who cares while they're watching this video, who am I? What do I know about poker? I am really a nobody in the poker scene, um, but you might say that I believe I'll be up and coming soon. I have hopes. Um, Maybe we can ride this journey out together, see what happens. I am quitting my high-paying corporate job. It's a very high-paying corporate job to go professional in poker. And does that seem like a rational choice? Well, um, I've played a lot of poker over the years. I've played poker for about 20 years. Before Black Friday, I used to play a significant amount of online poker. For those of you who remember the full tilt days, there was a lot of easy money on there. And I made a lot of easy money on there. Hmm. Well, I'm just going to believe his story. That's unfortunate. Back then on Full Tilt, I played mostly Pot Limit Omaha. Nowadays, I'm more of a Hold'em player. I still play Omaha from time to time. Been trying to take up Big O recently. Pretty fun game. Hold'em, though, is the most popular game, and the stakes are high enough for me to make a decent living off of it. In fact, I hope that I will make more from poker than I do at my corporate job that I'm in the process of quitting. Hmm. Um, he did a donk bet, and his story, like, what is he trying to tell me? So we're just gonna bet big here. Hope a bluff gets through. Okay, didn't get through. That was fun. Uh, Sometimes the bluffs don't work. That's okay. I wouldn't be surprised if my first recorded session I make a lot of mistakes because I'm multitasking and I'm not used to it. Usually I'm fully concentrated on the game. But you know what? I've noticed at the 25 NL, even at the 50 NL, competition is soft enough that I might squeak out a win still. Why, why is he betting out at me? What is this dunk betting? Does everybody do this on this site? What is going on? Yeah, I'll call that. Okay, we're just gonna pop that, and we're going to bet big here, and we're definitely calling that down. And we're rolling that. Yeah, ace king. What can you do? Small stack. It's okay. All right. With an ace on the board, there's no reason to bet your kings here. The kings are already well protected. Now we're going to check back one more time. I'm pretty sure we're good here. Now let's try to see if we can extract a little value. Hopefully, nope. Kings, you already have a really strong pair. There's an ace on the board, so if your opponent has any ace whatsoever, you're behind, and you're way behind. Um, but if they don't have an ace, you're probably way ahead. So, no, no point in betting in that situation because they're probably going to fold anything less than an ace. And of course, they're going to call if they have an ace. So instead, you check it and hope to induce a bluff. That's how you're going to get max value with kings there. And if they start betting, you're probably going to have to call it down. Depending on how the action goes, right? Depending on the bet size. But there's going to be a lot of situations where you check that flop and you're going to be calling down. Your kings turn it into a bluff catcher. A good one at that. Hey, caught tens here. Um, this board doesn't particularly favor anybody. It doesn't particularly favor the preflop raiser. So I'm just going to bet out. Now I'm going to check it and hope that he bets it. Hey, we'll call. And we win. Look at that. I would not have bet a pot size bet there. So got more money out of him by checking it and letting him bet it than I would have gotten myself. We're going to check and call it. I don't care if we caught the straight there. I caught two pair. Just one of those spots where, in my opinion, it's an overbluffed spot when there's a one liner to a straight and they're in position. So if you have top pair, sometimes you're going to have to call there. Oops. I don't want to open another table. I'm also kind of wondering, should I be doing four tables while streaming? I don't know. I thought it would be more interesting this way. More hands to discuss, more hands to see. We're going to three bet this, but we're going to keep it. Let's go a little smaller because of the stack size. He's a small stack. And then we have a cold four bet, but it was a tiny four bet. So yes, I'm in. Oh man, go ahead and check it again. Let me hit my king. Okay. Well, sometimes you just have to lose. All right. We're going to go a little bigger here with the three bet pocket tens and take it down. You might ask, why am I min raising on the button? First of all, in a cash game, you want to open up with a raise. So we'll just cover that basis. If you want to play the hand, you're going to open up with the raise. If you're limping, you're making a mistake. I am a cash game specialist. I don't play too many tournaments. I know in tournaments there are situations where you want to limp. Um, I, I can think of specifically in the small blind, but these cash tables, you don't even want to limp in the small blind. Small blind, you're going to be putting a lot of pressure on the person in position by betting huge pre-flop. I don't really believe him, and we do have the heart draw. I'm just going to go ahead and put in a raise. He piles it in. I am not pot committed. Whoops. That was a mistake. Wish I could have seen the river. We have trip threes here. Straight draw with backdoor flush draw here. And we pick up equity with backdoor flush draw. And we catch five. We're going to check. With that check on the turn, I'm not sure what is he trying to say that he has a queen? I guess he's trying to say he has a queen. I'm calling. Anyway, going back to the min raise. On the button, you can actually make the pre-flop raise a little larger. So I'd even go 3x, but This is zone poker, and I'm floor tabling it, going quickly. I don't mind just putting in a min raise. It's a quick button click. All right, let's bet a little smaller. There's not a lot for him to connect with here, so I don't want to lose a customer. We shouldn't be afraid of that last heart. We're gonna value bet here. Okay, I'm gonna rep an ace, but I do have the flush draw. Now that I caught value with the king, I'm just gonna check it. We're gonna check down the ace king and hope it wins. We caught our flush here. Let's put in an overbet. Interesting. Um, well, I have the second nuts, so I'll just call though. Oof, mistake just calling. I should have raised that. Dang. Hmm. I regret not going all in there. We have three to a backdoor straight, and we have a backdoor flush draw. We're going to bluff this. Got check raised here, and he is check raising into two. This becomes a fold. I know that's a really strong hand to fold. We didn't pick up backdoor equity, so we're going to give up on the bluff. King is a good card for me here, so I'm going to bet it. Queen is a great card to continue bluffing, so I'm now going to pot it. Oh, that's a good flop for me. I can mid bet it. Hmm. Three bet. He has a tiny stack. I'm at the bottom of my range, really. So anyway, so let's talk about why it's good to practice on low stakes internet poker. Um, I don't care if I lose money on here. What I'm trying to do is trying to get reps, and you're going to play tons of hands. Um, you get experience very, very quickly because you play so many hands. And and then I'm going to reflect later on mistakes that I made and how to improve them, how to improve and make sure that I don't make the same mistake again. I'm also going to consider the times where I extracted max value and think about how do I repeat that? What did I do right? Uh, well, even if I catch the straight here, I could be up against the flush, so let's not. I'm beat here a decent amount of times, but I am also ahead of 16 combinations of ace king. He three bet me. Now he appears to be giving up on here. Um, he could still have me beat. Like, of course, he would check that down if he has aces, kings, jacks. I wouldn't expect him to go for value there with those hands either on the river. The flop, of course, he's going to bet that. I'm not going to try to bluff him. I have showdown value, so we're going to check this down. And he has an ace king. There you go. Check raises me. We're going to call. Okay, he could have been check raising with the baby flush draw. And that's the story he's telling right there. So, yeah, we're folding. I had a second pair with top kicker there on that board. It's fairly strong. That's also a board that you're going to see a lot of check raises because there's a lot of straight draws and a lot of flush draws for that a position player. And they have an incentive to check raise there a lot with their draws. And second pair with the top kicker is ahead of a lot of those draws. So until that turn, when the flush draw got there, when the draw gets there, then you're probably beat when they shove. Okay, I have a lot of good hands right now. We're going to min bet this. We have his range smashed, and we're going to half pot it. Nothing happened there, unfortunately. I don't think he has a lot going for him. Could be wrong. Okay, we're in fairly good shape here. Of course, we have the flush draw and we have top pair. I don't know what he's trying to represent now. A set, I suppose. He's in small blind. So I think he's trying to rep a set. Oh, backed into two pair with a 6-9 offsuit. All right, he's not a very good player. You should not be calling a raise with a 6-9 offsuit in small blind. But hey, you got max value on me, so what do I know? Just most of the time, when you're calling with a hand like that, there's in the worst position in all of No Limit Hold'em. Small blind is the worst position. You're setting yourself up for failure because even if you do catch two pair, even if you do catch a good hand, uh, you have significant reversed implied odds against your opponent's range who can catch better two pairs or sets or so on and so forth. Better hands, straights, flushes. What are you expecting with your 6-9 offsuit? Maybe you'll catch a straight or two pair or trips. Nothing great. I'm gonna respect small blind here. Not calling that. All right, we're down for this session so far, but we're just getting started. I'm not going to talk too much about pre-flop play, mostly focus on hands that develop into something big after the flop. All right, we're going to bet big into this player. We hit our straight over here. That's nice. Okay, now I'm going to really lay the hammer down. I'm not worried about the straight. Oh, interesting. Wonder what he called with. Double checked, so he doesn't have much value. Let's do that 3/4. Oh man, folded an ace-10 suited there on accident because I timed out. Whoops. We're down a bit for this session, but not much. One or two big hands will completely change that into profit. Oh, I didn't realize how tiny his stack was. I'm just going to put them all in. We're committed here, and we're ahead. This is a high frequency bet. Against small blind, we're probably behind, so we're now going to check it down. I raised in hijack and small blind called, so he probably has something like sixes, sevens, or nines. Oop, nothing. What was he thinking? That was a garbage call by him on the flop and pre-flop. This is a high frequency bet, and it also can be a min bet. I was the pre-flop raiser here, so I'm going to bet half pot. We have an ace. A lot of people are going to connect with the ace. I'm not worried about the flush. Let's do a little more than half pot on turn here. Once again, there's going to be a lot of connectivity. We don't like that river, but we'll check it down if he allows us to. And we're also not going to fold. Exit. Oh well. Can't remember the exact odds that he was laying us down here. I think he did a quarter size bet. So we're getting pretty decent odds to call. That's also an overbluff spot. And the odds of him having a flush there, even though there's four out there, it's somewhere around like, I want to say it's like 40%. So if you're getting like 4-1 or 5-1, and you have a set, it's a call. Interesting. I think I need to play less tables while I'm streaming. This is a little much. Everybody wants to play a friendly pot. I don't. I love that he's donk betting at me. Oh, that's so ridiculous. Come on, guy. What do you think I'm squeezing with? Garbage? Yeah, I'm all in. Yeah, nice hand. Very nice hand. I love playing against guys like this. Okay, that hand is going to. We're probably like even now after that. That was just silly. What was he thinking? Apparently, he thought I was squeezing with absolute garbage, which I don't. I don't do that. No, I might squeeze with him like king six suited, king seven suited, king eight suited. Those would be at the bottom of my range there, because they have, of course, the king blocker, which is it's very relevant, very significant. I don't often bluff with like zero equity. Um, I'm gonna give up on that. Bad choice, but I'm not gonna give up now because if he doesn't have a club, he might fold. Okay, I'm going to stay out of one table. Let's try three tabling it and see how we do. So the cash games that I play live, I typically buy in around $1,000, and I'm willing to go higher. It just happens to be that the games that are most convenient to me are. It's not necessary to buy in more than 1,000. If I go down in Vegas, I'm willing to play higher stakes. Or if I go down to Southern California, willing to play higher stakes if there's higher stakes offered. Um, in those games, yeah, if they allow me to, I like to play deep stacked. So I'll typically buy in for the max, whatever the max is. If there's no max, then I go with whatever I think is reasonable. I look around the table and I'm going to have the people to my right covered because they're the people that I'm most likely to win money off of, right? And I also want to be cautious of the person as position on me. So what I don't want is if somebody to the left of me is in for 2,000 and the people on my right are in for 500. I don't really want to buy in for. Um, don't really want to buy in for 2,000. That was a good hand. You just give away his whole stack with pocket threes. Apparently, there was no respect for my three bet pre-flop. I like how he donk led and shoved. So are you saying that I'm only doing that with no pairs? Oh. We go with ace king here. Uh, we're behind a lot of times, but we're not folding ace king here. Obviously hoping for coin flip or better. Hopefully he has ace queen. That doesn't happen too often in cash games. Tens, coin flip. Okay. He's a slight favorite. He wins. What can you do? If I if I begin to fold there with ace king, I'm giving up a lot of equity. I was, what was it, like $20 more for a pot that had already built up to 15 plus his, like 16, I think it was like 16 or 17 plus his 20. Um, so, I mean, I was getting nearly 2 to 1 there. And if you begin folding ace king there when you're getting 2 to 1 pre-flop and it's only a four bet all in, it's a blunder. You're throwing away money. You got to defend equity that you have by going ahead and running with your ace king because it is a strong hand. And against a pair of tens, I don't remember the exact split, but I think it's somewhere around tens probably has 56% and ace king offsuit has 44%. Ace king has about a 50% chance to catch top pair, ace from king. So you might ask, why isn't it a coin flip? Well, tens is going to hit a set, like 20% of the time. Speaking of the set, got a set of kings here. This board is one that I can overbet against big blind, so I will. Um, Now our hand is not vulnerable whatsoever. And the fact that he was calling means that he probably has value or he doesn't like to give up on a flush draw. Hopefully he's the type that doesn't like to give up on a flush draw. And now we just hit gin. We're going to 2x overbet because you don't get monsters like this very often. And he calls. Kind of lost track, but we might be, I don't know. I feel like we're still even for the session because I did top up on this table a few times. We're probably up 50 on this table. Maybe we're down close to 50 on the other tables from topping up. Oh, I need to rejoin. I have two pair. Yeah, I'm calling. Thank you. Might have got max value there. Making him think that I was on check fold, which I was. And I rejoined just in time. Can we get him to fold? Hmm, that's a no. So I don't know if you all have seen overbets on the flop very often, but let's think about that. Why would I overbet that flop? It's not very often that it's appropriate to overbet a flop. And in fact, if there's a lone ace or a lone king without any other broadways out on the board, sure you have a significant range advantage as the preflop raiser in position against big blind. Um, but there's not a lot of connectivity um, when there's a lone ace or a lone king. So, and there's going to be spots where you have a lot of marginal hands that don't want to put a lot of chips in. Okay. Um, but you want to bet at a high frequency when there's a lone ace or a lone king. Very, very high frequency. Sometimes, in some cases, it's like 100% frequency, almost 100%. Might as well be. But you're going to bet tiny. In a lot of circumstances against big blind, you're going to bet no more than quarter pot. Um, okay, we're going to have to do that. So why was a board of ace king nine with two clubs different? Um, there's high connectivity there, and I'm going to have a lot of marginal hands that I want to check back, not bet. Um, so when I have a draw, or especially a garbage draw like a gut shot, um, or when I have, say, a monster like ace king, kings, aces, nines, I can have all the sets there. I can have all the two pairs there. So I have a huge nut advantage, whereas the person in big blind cannot have a set of kings, cannot have a set of aces, not going to have a set of nines very often either. They're not going to have top two pair with ace king. Why? Because he would have three bet. He would have three bet if he had any of those hands. Nines, he may have three bet. Not necessarily, but he may have chosen to three bet. Ace nine suited, sometimes he's going to three bet. So the fact that he called told me that I had a huge nut advantage. And I did happen to have a set of kings. And there's a lot of draws that he could have in that situation. He could have the flush draw or um, gut shot to Broadway. Pot size bet on this dry board. That's really strange. I'll just give up on it. It's okay. I don't need to battle that one out. We'll pick a different battle. Um, so when you have high amount of connectivity, huge range advantage and nut advantage, and there's potential draw, so you need to protect your hand for future streets. Um, all of that. Oh, and you have many marginal hands that will want to check down rather than bet. All of that adds up to you probably should overbet when you have a really good hand. Okay, we have a set here. He didn't want to bet that flop. I'm going to overbet because this is a very, very wet turn, wet board. Interesting bet. Why wasn't he being aggressive all that time? And now he's choosing to be aggressive. That doesn't make any sense. I'm going to go ahead and call. And we were right. Thank goodness. When their line doesn't make sense, it's one of those spots where if you have a bluff catcher, you might need to bluff catch. I should fold here a lot of the times. I'm going to call, hoping to have four people do a flop and catch a better flop than this, unfortunately. When you have suited connectors, you want more people in. Topping up, topping up. I think we're even on the day, nothing exciting yet. I'll probably go for another half hour and then call it a day. Just a little practice in the morning, sipping on my coffee. Um, this isn't the optimal time to play because it's first thing in the morning, and us poker players are night owls, right? So the best games are at night. Also, when people get off work, they might want to go play cards. Um, First thing in the morning, you're not going to catch a lot of good games. Since this is heads up and I have position, I don't need to three bet bluff this. Let's go for it. Pot size bet there. That's really strange. I'm going to raise him. I think he has garbage. And I'm going with this. Like maybe he has a pair, but I have my ace. I have straight draws. I'm getting like 2 to 1. I'm going with it. There it is. You had queens. What can you do? I got lucky. King high for 50 cents on this pot. Absolutely, I'm calling. I get it. It was worth a bluff on his part. Why not? Throw in 50 cents. Maybe I fold. I totally get it. It was kind of smart, especially when I was in check fold mode. And then I rejoined the hand. Wow, this is a really big bet. Why? I have a strong hand. It's too strong to fold. We're getting lots of bluffs into us right now. Thank goodness for the bluffs. Ooh, and he called. Yeah, I'm going to put the pressure on. Let's go. That's a bad flop for me. We're going to three bet the eights. Pot size bet. We talked about this before. Two broadways. I can have I have the huge advantage, range advantage and net advantage. Um, I didn't want to continue there. Whoops. Three bet, and he called. Him checking down like that, and the fact that he called, he probably has a higher pocket pair than I do. I don't think he connected with the ace or the king. I was kind of wishing he would bet it so I could come over the top. Um, hey, but we lucked out. He didn't have anything. Maybe he had like a queen 10 suited, jack 10 suited. Okay. Small blind here is going to have an ace pretty often. Yeah. Okay. I picked up equity with the backdoor Broadway draw. And very smart. He is leaving out. I like that play. I respect that play. If I call this and catch Broadway, I'm not going to get enough value from him. So, no, we fold. Wasn't getting the right pot odds. We're going to three bet this pocket. Tens. What would he call there with? What would he pot size bet there with? Feels like a bluff. Calling with ace high. Once again, I accidentally timed out. He saw me time out, and so he went for a bluff. Um, Not doing that on purpose, but I rejoined just in time to call their bluff. Are we up now? We might be up now. Um, he's not going to connect with this board very often, so I'm going to check raise my gut shot. And it works. It cut through. This was actually high frequency bet flop. I just missed the bet, and now he's betting half pot. I don't know what he has. I have ace high. I have some value. Let's see it. Um, we're not going to slow play queens here. No point in it. This is a high frequency bet. If he has a 10, he gets he doubles up. I'm not folding. What I was hoping is he had a lower pocket pair. I chose the half pot, but honestly, I could have gone lower. The fact that it was three bet, pot was already big, especially considering his stack. Probably would have been more appropriate in retrospect for me to bet quarter size pot. I might have even kept him in with just high cards. And I'm only worried about an ace or a king coming out. Um, but I want to extract a little more value. So we're going to bet this. We have backdoor flush draw, backdoor straight draw, just in case somebody makes a call. It gets through. Um, Usually I don't bet marginal hands, but we do have backdoor straight draw, backdoor flush draw here. So um, I want to bet marginal hands from time to time just to show that I guess in zone poker, it doesn't matter because my opponents don't see my play over a session, but playing live, um, I want to show them that I'm capable of showing up with trips on a turn that pairs the middle pair on the flop, for example. I want to I want to show them that I'm capable of betting marginal hands for value as well. This king was fantastic, and we're not going to miss the opportunity to bet it. It's also a good hand card for. He was the three better though, so we do have to show a little respect. But the fact that he checked tells me he probably has like queens or jacks. He's probably going to call. Nope, nope. He showed a little discipline. We're going to call this. We have a pair and a flush draw. Uh, but we'll give up now. We'll show a little respect. Trying to think what he was. Yeah. Yep. Okay. I think three tabling is about right. At least that's what I can keep up with right now. Maybe in the future I'll be able to four table and record. We're going to pot this. With this pair, I want to get it down heads up. I don't know why he's limping there, but we're going to charge him. We check back here. It's just not one that I'm going to bet. We're going to check back again. We pulled that. And we check back. I'm pretty sure I'm ahead, but what am I going to get value out of? You know what? I'm going to get value out of like ace high with 50 cents. Nope. You had a queen. What can you do? I think there was a pretty good chance that he might have had ace high there and I could have got a little extra value. He probably had more ace high there than he did top pair. So why not? What I don't like is leaving value on the table. So when you have a chance to value bet, even though I had what third pair, value bet it. You know, we're gonna bump this up. We're not afraid of the flush. Don't be afraid of the flush when you have a good hand. Generally, I mean, sometimes you can tell they have the flush. What can you do? Of course, I'm going to call this, and I'm way ahead. But he's picking up equity and he wins. Well, we made the right play there and we lost. Happens all the time in poker. All the time. Okay, bumping this up. Always three bet ace king, unless you're. I mean, there's like very few exceptions. In small blind, you're always going to three bet it. Um, we're going to go for it. 2/3. I should have bet that. Whoops. Min raises it. We have the right odds to call this. Maybe barely. Min raises it. Why would he min raise it? I don't know what he's repping there. Let's go with it. I just caught my king, my gin card. 10. Some people are so bad. I don't know what this guy is repping. No way. I call. Geez, people are bluffing into us left and right, and their bluffs don't make sense. You gotta call down when their bluffs don't make sense and you have value. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Let that be the lesson of the day. If they have it, that's just variance. What can you do? But more often than not in this game, it's hard to get a good hand in this game. So more often than not, they're not going to have it. Um, I just caught the straight on the river. We got to raise that. Okay, I have the best of it. Um, no reason to bet big here. There's not a lot of connectivity with this board. And we still have the nuts, and he's now hitting half pot, which is fantastic. Um, we're going to get some value out of him. I'm not too afraid of the draws here, so I'm not going to go too big. We got 4-bet here. We're giving up on king queen. Oh, look at that. Wow. Board pairs, and he bets out. We are jamming this all in. He must have been bluffing. He had to have been bluffing. You're not going to bet basically pot size there as lead out with nothing. I mean, sorry, with something of value and then give up on it like that. That's just not going to happen. He's not folding the boat there, so he didn't have a boat. I don't know why he's not giving up, but and we're going with it. We're going all the way. Bad bluff. Didn't get through. I think that last hand was a case of me, what would you call that? Wind tilting. I was crushing it, winning a bunch of hands, and feeling so good that I felt like I was going to three-barrel that. Look at this. Wow. We're catching hands right now. This is one that I can bet big because there's connectivity. Ace and Jack. Chances are he has. Now we're going to try to milk him a bit. We're going to bet half pot. You got away. Got away, guys. Um, I think fours is good here, option out enough to call. And it is. I think what we're seeing here, notice that I'm way ahead on the NL25. I think what we're seeing here is the player pool is significantly softer at the NL25 right now. And that's something to be very aware of. Um, you want to be very conscious of game selection if you want to be a winning player. And when you're losing a game, it could be that the cards aren't running well for you, but there's also a high likelihood that you're just up against tough enough competition where maybe they're better than you, or maybe they're just not soft enough to make it worth your time. And so this is one of those situations where we can use a little discipline in game selection. And oh, wow, I'm surprised he wasn't betting that king queen through. Got good value out of me though. Worked out for him. Oh, where was I? Did I even finish that thought? I don't know. Um, Exercise some game selection discipline, and recognize that you're struggling to turn a profit, which I am at NL50 right now, and you might just pick up and walk away. I did this the other day. I was in a game, a live game, because live games is really where I make my money, right? This is practice. I consider this practice. If I win, that's kind of fun. I like winning, of course. But if I win at NL50 and NL25, it's not going to pay the bills. So um, I have much larger bills to pay. I have a family to feed. We're going to bet that we have some equity to the river. May have been calling with a seven. It's very possible. There we go. Anyway, I'm not going to pay the bills with this. So this is practice for my live poker to make sure that I'm playing live better. Because live poker, you only get to see like 25 or 30 hands per hour, so you don't get a lot of practice, a lot of a big sample size to learn from. Whereas if you're playing this zone poker, I found, I can probably play um, 200 to 250 hands per hour per table. And so if I'm four tabling it, I might do like 800 to 1,000 hands per hour, um, which that's significant experience, right? One hour ends up being like the equivalent of 40 hours of live poker that I can learn from. And this is something that I found back when I played full tilt, because I played so many hands on internet poker on full tilt, multi-tabling it. I would go to live poker and the competition was softer, and I had probably experienced way more hands than most of the people at the table, especially those who don't play internet poker at all. Even if they had been playing poker for decades, I, I can fit decades worth of experience into a couple of years of full time internet poker. He probably has us beat here, but we're we're getting what, like 5 to 1, 6 to 1. So we're calling, and we won. He, for whatever reason, he was doing like a blocker bet with his kings. Interesting. He wasn't bluffing there. He was doing the blocker bet with his kings. But you go folding there just because there's a one liner to a straight, and you have two pair. You're giving up. You're giving up a lot of equity in a lot of circumstances. It's not smart. You got to call there, even if you're beat a lot of the times. He leads out into the spades, and it was a big bet. I don't like that. I don't like this at all. I don't like this at all. I'm folding. I don't like folding top pair there. I may have been wrong, but it just didn't. Sometimes you got to go with your gut too. I felt like I was beat, and my gut is often right. So when I feel like I'm beat, I should fold, unless I'm getting the right odds. He was betting big. What did he bet on the turn? I think he bet half pot. On the flop, he bet like two-thirds or three-quarters. On the turn, he was giving me 3-1, but what he was telling me is he's not afraid of the ace. In fact, he was more or less telling me, I want to get value out of if you have an ace. That's what it felt like. All right, I think we're going to go for another 5 to 10 minutes. Considering we're up over 100 on this table, I think we're up on the session. I don't think I topped up over $100 on these tables. We're definitely down at NL50, and we're definitely up at NL25. So did I ever finish the thought about game selection? Let's go back to that. So the other day, I was at a game that felt there wasn't enough easy money. Actually, there wasn't much money at the table. Nothing to get me excited over. I had bought in for $1,000, and like hardly anybody was buying in for that much. Uh, we're just gonna call this. There's not much going on with this board, and I want to keep my customer in. Interesting. He doesn't like the ace. Probably has a queen. I'm gonna do a smallish bet. Ooh, comes over the top. Okay, now he's telling me the story that maybe he has a set of threes or two pair. You know, I could come over the top there, but I don't think it's necessary. I might lose the customer because me coming over the top there looks way too strong with that ace. And now we get quads, so now we just win, right? And notice that I overbet. He was telling me that he had a monster, but then he checked the river. I suppose he was trying to induce a bluff. So he was extremely polarized. So you either had a monster or nothing. And with that 7 on the river, he's either got a boat or he has top 2 with ace queen. That was my impression. And I just don't think he's folding to anything. So if he's not folding to anything, we want to get max value. And we get max value by just overbetting. It was a 2x overbet. I was contemplating coming over the top here, but he's going to have Queen Jack more often than I will. doesn't like the jack, or he really liked the jack. We're just gonna try to extract a half pot value bet with our flush. If he comes over the top, we're beat, so we fold. In hijack, I won't always open with queen 10. Sometimes I'll fold it. I do somewhere around a 50% frequency. So I have found a way to randomize that. Queen 10 and hijack is almost playable. It is playable. It's just not, it's at the very bottom of the range for me. Ooh, we have two pair. We're catching lots of good cars right now. We're getting lucky. Let's pot it. And let's pot it again. We get three bet. Um, I don't really like to call this very often with three bet, but he's given me a good price and I have position. Really, he should have three bet to like almost five. I will say though, with his stack size, maybe the three bet to three is a little more appropriate because he had something like a little over 50 bigs, maybe he had 60 bigs. So he can afford to go there, go smaller, um, because even though I'm in position and uh, my implied odds, he's probably going to put it in because he has like nothing. I didn't notice his stack, but when he checks there, a lot of the times he's going to fold. Yeah. So, and I'm committed. Anyway, my implied odds aren't as great because of his stack size. And so his bet to $3 actually could have been appropriate. I would have gone a little higher though, even with his stack size, maybe to like 350, something like that. Four-handed, I have a garbage hand, but I do have clubs. Why not? Let's go. And I'm closing out the action. I wonder if we're up on NL50 now that we're up to 124 on this table. I don't know. I topped up quite a bit. Trying to think of a way for me to check my balance without recording it. I only have one screen right now. I'm playing on a new computer that I just set up and only have one screen. So if I check my balance, you'll see it. We have position, quarter size bet. We have backdoors. We're going for it. This is a low frequency open here. I think we give up on that. Okay, but when we get three bet with a hand like this, um, we're playing from. I mean, his range likely he'll connect with boards that I won't connect with, and I'll connect with boards that he won't connect with, and um, even if he has something like aces, kings, um, etc. 4 or 5 suited is a hand that I want to bust his aces with. Now, if I had open ace 10 rather than 4 or 5 suited, ace 10 is insta fold. Part of me wants to call this. I'm going to fold though. I was running out of time here, so I just called. Um, I would consider a what would that would have been a four bet. I would consider a four bet bluff with ace queen. We're going to check it. We're either way ahead or we're behind, and um, we're going to call. I'll rejoin this after playing these hands. Okay. Of course, I'm going to call that. But once again, we're either way ahead or we're behind. And if I raise, he's not going to call. If yeah, he's not going to call if he's behind. If I raise there, so that's just a call. And he won it. But look at that. We minimized the loss the way we played it. Interesting story he's telling me here. Oh, dang. I was starting to think that King High was good there. But I ran out of time. Whoops. And here we are topping up again. I don't know how many times we've topped up at this table. I don't think we've topped up here as much. We were topping up here pretty often, unfortunately. On this board, let's go ahead and check it back. I would play that kind of a mixed frequency. Sometimes I'm going to bet there. Sometimes I'm going to check back. We're going to check that back again. Hey, look at that. Let's bet it. I think I said I was going to be done with recording by now, but here I am still playing. Okay, how about we sit out of this one? We're going to show a little table selection discipline. Sit out of this one, and we're going to come back to this one. Player pool in NL25 is very weak right now, so let's make more profit from them. Small blind's range here, I was going to say, is a little stronger. It's definitely stronger than what big blind would be in that situation. So against big blind, I might have done a pot size bet there and felt very comfortable. Small blind, I did a 3/4 pot, and I am going to tread or I'm going to cautiously play the hand from that point because there's a lot of times where they're going to have a pretty strong hand on that board. Okay, we're going to add. Wait, I thought I was sitting out of this. Whoops. Oh, I rejoined. That was my problem. Whoops. Okay. So we're. Oh, they're not letting me. Okay. Just kidding. We'll keep it. Keep it the way it is. Yeah, we're done here soon anyway. Let's not add another table. It's fine. Very dry board. I have top pair. Weak kicker. This is going to be the probably the top of the range of my check back. Pretty close to the top of the range of my check back. Against big blind, I would bet that like every time, but we have small blind in here, so we're gonna check. We check back the flop because of that, because they're both in. So apparently, I'm a really bad storyteller because I don't think I ever finished the story um, that I was trying to tell about table selection, game selection. So anyway, uh, I was at a game where I bought in for 1,000, and most of the players were sitting with less than 1,000. I want to be at a game where there's plenty of money to be made at the table. Another thing was there really wasn't anybody reckless at the table. Maybe one player, but there just wasn't enough fish at the table. And sure, I might be able to outplay the good players at the table, but I want a really, really high win rate, and I want to win big in the sessions that I play to make the time worth it. So I was aware of a game going on at the same time that had more money at the table and likely had more fish. So I picked up, I went to the other game, and um, it was a good decision. It was a good decision because I won a pretty significant amount of money at that table that I went to. I'm not I'm not playing this game to When I'm playing higher stakes, when I'm playing a table where I'm intending to win as much money as possible to pay the bills, I'm not interested in a pissing match where there's good players at the table and I'm trying to prove that I'm better than them. I'm not interested in that. When I played smaller stakes online, you know, the competition's kind of fun and it's good to learn from. So if they're good, like maybe some of the players at this NL50, um, maybe even some players at the NL25, I don't know. They're random opponents, so I can't get a read over the session on any one of these opponents. But if they're good, then I am able to build better experience for when I'm playing the stake, the life tables and the stakes that matter to me. So if I'm playing this zone cash game and I lose $100 in NL25, and that's four buy-ins, the experience was probably worth it because then I'm going to go to NL 1000 or NL 2000 live, and I'm going to go with more experience under my belt against online opponents that are likely better than my live opponents. And I got the lesson online cheap. Whereas if you're getting the lesson live at stakes that matter to you, you're not getting it cheap. We're going to bluff this one. We have a backdoor. We have backdoor straight draws. We have backdoor flush draws. That's a great card. Now we're really going to lay the hammer down. We're going with this hand. He goes all in. We're getting 3-1. It's not quite the right odds, actually. Bummer. That sucks. What do we need there to call? We need a little over, about 4-1. We need 4-1. A little over that. Because presumably we only have 9 outs. But, the way you played it, we might have had less outs. Might have had a set or two pair, and then we might be drawing to less outs. Let's assume that you had one pair and we're drawing. Let's assume you had a pair of aces and we're drawing to 9 outs. And we're going to bet that. Notice I was bluffing there with like no equity. Sure, I had backdoor straight draw. Anyway, let's assume that we have 9 outs to the river. Well, a quick way to calculate your equity is, and a lot of you already know this, of course. I'm sure a lot of the people who are watching this know this. Um, you just take 9 times 2, so 2% for each out, and that gives you 18%. So we had 18% equity there. And honestly, to the river, it's actually about 2.2% per out. So we're more like 20%. So we're going to raise that, and I probably raised too big, but what can you do? I was running out of time and I'm blabbering on about pot odds and equity. Um, so I wanted to raise it and I just quickly clicked 3/4 raise size. This guy's probably on a draw. I don't mind if he continues. Yeah, but we take it down and I like that even better. Okay. Um, hmm, we're going to check that. So blabbering on about pot odds. So 20%. So what odds do you need to call if you have 20% to hit your 9 outs? You need your opponent to give you 4-1 odds or better. Well, that was interesting. Check, check. Now he bets big. Somehow the 10 helped, I guess. Okay. Um, I mean, he could have Queen Jack or pocket tens. That's very possible. 16 combinations of Queen Jack. 3 combinations of pocket tens there. So 19 combinations that made sense for the bet that he made. Quick way to do the math on combinations there to see what the odds are that he had that hand. Um, what is it? 0.0075. Let's see. 0.75. Yeah. Okay. 0.75. No. 0.075% times the number of combinations. We're going to call that. He wins. 0.075% times the number of combinations. So we're just going to round up to 20 combinations. And I don't know if I said the math right, but I know what the math is. um, 20 combinations would be 1.5% chance of any random 2 cards that your opponent is holding for them to have the hand that they are representing. And um, in that 3-bet pot, the pocket tens was highly likely. So because of the compression of um, folding out combinations that are not pocket tens and Queen Jack, all of a sudden the odds go up that he has those hands. He's repping a flush, but he's not going to have a flush there as often as he would like to rep. So I'm going to call there with nines. Anyway, pocket tens was highly likely there because of the compression of what hands would call the 3-bet there. And then Queen Jack was less likely. He would continue with Queen Jack suited if he's a good player. So really, we can't call it 16 combinations of Queen Jack. It's more like 4. And then 3 combinations of 10, definitely. Um, oh, look at that. We caught the wheel. So now if you're down to 7 combinations, we're just going to round up to 8 combinations to make it a little easier. Oh, this is a high frequency bet. At quarter pot is fine. Look at that. We caught a boat. I'm on a boat. And if you round up to 8 combinations, then you're looking at um, 0.3% if he had his full range. Um, but he didn't have his full range there. It was a compressed range. Um, and I'm not to the point where I would know how many combinations he would reduce his range to with that three bet. I hope to learn that someday. I'll work toward that. But I can tell you, like, okay, let's say that he reduced it down to, I don't know, 25% of um, his starting range of any random cards, and it might actually be less than that, maybe 20%. So let's run with 20%. Uh, we like this a lot. There's high connectivity for both of us here, and we had the royal flush draw. Um, so let's say he reduced it down to 20% of his starting range. Well, now that makes it 5 times more likely that he had that hand. So now we're at like 1.5%. It's probably higher than that. As I'm rambling, I'm probably playing worse poker than I normally would. I'm not good at talking and thinking through what I'm doing. Yeah, we don't need to call there. Okay, let's wrap this session up. I need to go hang out with my family. Just on my balance. Guess that doesn't matter. See, now there's no reason to not share with you. Let's see. Ah, but there's personal information. I don't like that. I better cut that part of the video out. Okay. So I accidentally showed my account information, so I'm going to have to cut part of the video out. And we're going to sit out. Hopefully you all enjoyed this session. Maybe you learned something, and maybe you can teach me something, like point out a few mistakes I might have made during the session. I'm still learning. Um, I practice on um, GTO programs, GTO software, and I get pretty high scores. Probably, I would consider it like a B minus. I get pretty frequently, enough to be profitable. I mean, I have a long history of playing cards, and I'm definitely a profitable player. Um, I don't know what he's trying to tell me there. I'm calling. He was trying to bluff me out of the hand that I had. Um, anyway, but I get like a B minus on the GTO software, and I want to, of course, improve that over time. But that tells me that I still have a lot to learn, and I hope to play high stakes, like ultra high stakes, in a few years. That's my goal. Hopefully, we can all experience that together on this YouTube channel. Hopefully, I'm able to spin it up and you're able to watch it happen and give me some advice along the way because I'm sure a lot of you who are watching are knowledgeable in spots where I'm making mistakes, and maybe you can point those out. Um, I greatly appreciate that. I'm going to read through some of the comments and totally open to feedback. Uh, like I said, the fact that I'm getting B minus on GTO software is telling me that there's still holes for me to plug. I will say that even though I get B minus, my EV loss is pretty low. My average EV loss on those programs, um, which also is further proof that I can be a profitable player, and I am a profitable player. Um, it gave me I've built up enough confidence to give up my high-paying corporate job to give this a shot full time because I absolutely love poker. It is I love games in general. Poker is a game that I'd say I love the most for sure. So, not everybody that plays professionally is passionate about the game. They like to play minimal hours to make just enough to get by. But I'm the type of player where um, I would love to play for as many hours as I can, as long as I'm able to balance the rest of my life, because balancing the rest of your life is important too, and I keep that in mind. But there were times in my past before like Black Friday where I had no balance. I played poker for like 80 hours a week. So, and that gave me a lot of experience. So it is very helpful to get to where I'm at now. But I also recognize that I need balance in life, and I also recognize that I still have a lot to learn, and that's one of the things that's exciting about this game is um, there's so many decision points in Middle and Hold'em that you cannot possibly learn to play it perfectly over a lifetime, but you can improve over your lifetime, day to day, and there's almost an infinite level of improvements that you can make. So that gets me excited too, because I do like improving in whatever I do. I don't like hitting a ceiling, and so this is a game where I feel like I won't hit a ceiling in my lifetime. So I'll I'll continue to be able to build experience. And it is also exciting to see that the player field is better than it was when I played before Black Friday. Players are way better. Um, so I need to be better because of that. And um, I do like a little competition, but of course, as I told you before, table selection is important. So I want to play with enough fish to make a good profit as well. All right. Hope you all enjoyed. I'm signing off. I'll post more videos later. Until next time.